The enemy is still miles away. Your feet already burn. Your water is lower than it should be. And when the march ends, you will have to build a fortress before you are allowed to sleep. This is the first lesson of the Roman legion. Battle is only the final test. The army begins trying to break you long before anyone draws a sword. To survive today, strength will not be enough. You must protect your feet, understand commands, manage water, carry shared equipment, and obey when every instinct tells you to stop. One mistake can remain small for hours. Then, at the worst possible moment, it becomes the reason you cannot stand, cannot march, or cannot hold the line. Your challenge is simple to explain and brutal to complete. Survive one full day as a legionary on campaign. Before sunrise, 8 tent mates wake in a leather shelter barely large enough for bodies, equipment, and the damp smell of yesterday's march. The men of your tent group share shelter, chores, and some equipment. If one man is slow, careless, or injured, the burden moves on to everyone else. You start with your feet. The leather must be tight enough to control movement, but not so tight that swelling turns every step into pressure. A folded wrinkle, a grain of grit, or a loose strap can become a hot spot. Ignore it now, and the march will grind it into a blister. Next comes the belt, sword, and dagger. They must stay accessible without striking your thigh at every step. The armor protects the torso, but protection has a cost. Metal concentrates weight on the shoulders, traps warmth, and demands constant maintenance against moisture and rust. Your helmet reduces one danger and creates another. Hearing commands through metal, wind, and hundreds of moving men is harder than it looks. Then the scutum. It is not a decorative shield. It is curved, awkward, and large enough to protect the man beside you when the line works correctly. Finally come the pilum, food, cloak, cooking items, tools, and the share of equipment that keeps the tent group alive at night. Before the column moves, there is drill. Not because officers enjoy wasting time, but because confusion becomes lethal when men are tired. A command changes the shape of the unit. Advance, halt, turn, close the intervals. The correct response must become faster than thought. You do not need to understand every word spoken across the army. You must recognize the signal that applies to your place and your task. A man who moves early opens a gap. A man who moves late blocks the file. Discipline is not obedience for its own sake. It is a survival mechanism. The shield is held for minutes at a time. The arm starts fresh, then trembles, then learns that discomfort is not permission to lower protection. By the end of drill, you are warm, slightly thirsty, and already carrying fatigue into the part of the day that actually covers distance. The order to march passes down the line. There is no heroic charge, only the scrape of hobnails, shifting leather, and thousands of repeated steps. Your place in the column matters. Lose it, and you force someone else to change pace, carry space, or correct your mistake. At first, the load feels manageable. The straps are adjusted, the muscles are fresh, and the road is firm beneath the mud. Then the road climbs. The same equipment becomes heavier because every step must lift it, and the man behind you cannot climb through your back. You shorten the stride. That protects the legs, but it also risks slowing the file. Survival becomes a negotiation between your body and the formation. The pack is not carried by the shoulders alone. Poorly tied gear swings, steals balance, and rubs skin with every movement. You could stop and fix it, but stopping without permission creates a new problem. The column keeps moving. So you signal a tent mate, shift the weight while walking, and wait for the next authorized pause. The repair takes seconds. The lesson lasts all day. Small problems are cheaper when they are noticed early. The road levels, but the wind rises. A broad shield catches it like a door, pulling the arm outward and forcing the shoulder to work harder. You switch grip for a moment. Relief reaches one muscle by transferring strain to another. This is how exhaustion grows, not as one dramatic collapse, but as 100 small costs that never fully disappear. By late morning, water becomes a decision. Drink too freely now, and the skin may be empty when the road becomes harder. Drink too little, and concentration falls. Commands blur, balance worsens, and the body begins spending strength less efficiently. The correct answer depends on heat, distance, workload, and what the officers know about the next source. You do not possess the whole map. You possess only your ration, your body, and the discipline to avoid panic. A tent mate begins to limp. He says it is nothing. His left foot tells a different story every time it touches the ground. If he hides the problem, it may become everyone's problem at the next climb. If he reports it, he risks delay, embarrassment, or reassignment. You help him check the sandal. A folded strap has pressed the same patch of skin for hours. The injury is still small. A strip of cloth, a better fold, and a tighter knot may keep him in the column. Helping costs time and energy, but abandoning shared responsibility costs more. Your tent group will still need 8 men's work at the camp. The afternoon becomes warmer. Iron heats, will hold sweat, and the inside of the helmet feels smaller with every mile. Removing equipment without permission would feel good immediately. It could also leave you unprepared when the halt ends without warning. The signal comes. The rest was shorter than your body expected. You rise too quickly. The world narrows for a second, then returns. Nobody stops the army because you stood badly. The column moves again, and now the road descends over loose stone. Tired legs are often less stable downhill than uphill. One slip would not need to kill you. A twisted ankle would be enough to end the march and perhaps the campaign. You slow just enough to stay controlled and use the man ahead as a reference. Survival favors discipline over pride. Near sunset, the column finally halts. Relief arrives first. Then you see the survey stakes marking the perimeter. The march is over. The work is not. In hostile territory, sleep begins only after the army has manufactured safety from earth, timber, and routine. Your unit receives a section of ditch. The geometry is standardized, but the ground is not. The first strike meets roots. The second meets stone. Every obstacle turns the same measured task into extra minutes of labor. You dig with shoulders already tired from carrying the shield. The body does not care that this is a different task. Soil leaves the ditch and becomes the rampart. The same earth must be moved twice. Cut out, then lifted into defense. A basket filled too high saves one trip and risks the back, the footing, and the man receiving it above. You choose the smaller load. It feels slower. It keeps the work moving. Sharpened stakes are set into the bank. They are not an invincible wall. They are an obstacle that buys time and preserves order. The camp gates and internal streets take shape because every unit knows where it belongs. Familiar arrangement reduces confusion after dark. Your tent group reaches its assigned space without searching. The location changes every night. The pattern does not. The leather tent is spread, aligned, and tensioned. A poor peg now becomes a leak, a collapse, or a sleepless night later. You test each line because fatigue encourages assumptions. The tent does not care how tired you are. Only when the shelter stands can the shared equipment be placed inside and the grain ration prepared. Wheat is dependable because it travels and stores well. It is not convenient. Grain must be ground before it becomes useful food. The stone turns slowly. Shoulders that carried armor and dug earth now provide the power for dinner. A simple meal restores some energy, but it also consumes time needed for cleaning equipment, repairing straps, and preparing for guard duty. Moisture remains on the armor. Leave it there, and rust begins working before the next march. A crack strap is stitched. A blunt edge is checked. The shield boss is inspected for movement. Readiness is built from maintenance no one celebrates. Your foot throbs when the sandal comes off. The skin is reddened, but still intact. Today, that counts as success. You clean it, dry it, and adjust tomorrow's wrap. The army may be large, but nobody else can feel the damage inside your own boot. Then the duty roster is read. Your name is on the first night watch. Sleep will have to wait. You replace the sandal, fasten the cloak, and walk toward the perimeter you helped build. At the gate, the world outside the ditch is almost featureless. Wind, grass, and darkness produce sounds that daylight would explain immediately. The body wants stillness. Guard duty punishes stillness. Cold enters damp wool, eyelids lower, and every minute feels longer than the last. You check the ditch, the stakes, and the neighboring sentry. Routine gives the mind something to do before fatigue invents threats. A faint sound comes from the dark. Not a battle cry. A stone moving where no stone should move. You could shout immediately and wake the camp. You could ignore it and hope fatigue is playing tricks. Both choices carry a cost. You signal the neighboring guard first. 2 observers reduce the chance that one exhausted mind is wrong. Then the cornu sounds from another gate. The alarm is real, but the direction is not yours. Every sleeping soldier must find equipment, identify the signal, and reach the correct place before confusion becomes a breach. Your hands are slower than they were at dawn. The buckle that worked easily now feels small, cold, and impossible. You stop pulling blindly, align the tongue, and fasten it once. Training restores precision when strength is gone. Outside, men enter the camp street from every tent. They do not run in random directions. They follow the layout built before dark. You reach your file, but one command is lost beneath the horn, boots, and voices. Guessing would be faster. Confirming is safer. The answer comes. Close the interval, face the threatened gate, hold position. The line feels different at night. You see less, hear more, and imagine movement inside every space beyond the shield rim. A figure moves outside. The front rank leans forward. One man begins to step out before the order. This is the final test. Courage tells you to chase. Discipline tells you that the shield beside yours is part of your own protection. You stay. The officer orders the line to remain closed. The figure disappears into darkness without forcing a fight. The alarm ends, but nobody celebrates. Equipment is checked, sentries are doubled, and the camp returns to a quieter kind of vigilance. You survive the march, the water decisions, the injured foot, the ditch, the meal, the watch, and the alarm. You never reached a glorious battle. That is the point. Rome's military power was built not only by men who fought, but by men who kept marching, digging, repairing, and obeying after the body wanted to stop. A modern person might possess more knowledge, better medicine, and stronger footwear. None of that guarantees the patience to function inside a system where personal comfort comes after collective survival. You are still alive. Your foot hurts. Your water is low. Your first watch is over. Soon the camp will be dismantled and the same test will begin again. So, after one day in a Roman legion, would you still be standing when the order came to hold the line?